Welcome to Martini Time, the happy time of the day. I'm a metaphorical martini priest. That's how I got started doing this. I was ordained by my uncle. Let's see if you can see him. Yeah, see there he is right there, next to a little frog. And so I kind of always wanted to give communion. So I let him ordain me as the martini priest, metaphorically speaking. And this is my body, this is my blood. So, but anyway, I always feel I have something mystical to say, and it juices me up a little bit. So here we go. The topic of today's message is Trump and the church state. Okay, I know Trump again, but can't help it. So I think that this comes to me when I've been writing on it today some, because when you look at what's in the news, and so what's in the news is this new pedophilia eruption in the Catholic Church. So that you get these every now and then. The last big one was in Massachusetts. He made a movie about it, Spotlight. And I learned a lot about the compulsion of pedophilia in that, the compulsion. And so here we are again with a new bubble. And I saw a connection. I connect dots. And it's kind of like when when you connect dots, it's kind of like when you stir a martini. You get a little rush there. You get a little gin. You get ginned up a little bit. So the connection between the church and the state seems to be, or the Catholic Church, with their cover-ups of the pedophiles, the enemy within, and also Trump. So let's talk about that for a minute, because it's very, it's just very difficult to really grasp and understand the clash of worldviews in our culture now. I mean, I live here in Blackstone, and this is Virginia, and this is a rural, small town, Southside Virginia, conservative area that always votes Republican no matter what. I mean, you could run an idiot. Well, but I mean, people it's just Republican, period. And liberals, if I called myself that, I vote Democratic. We always feel a little bit on the outside here. It's kind of like a little strange, almost like if you put a sign up in your front yard for a Democrat, you feel like you risk getting a cross burn in your yard, or something. But anyway, it's difficult to really understand the reaction to liberalism or the Democrats as a general thing. It's never about particular policies. It's always like by nature something is deficient. Liberalism seems to be something naturally dysfunctional or evil that has to be like germs to kept out, and it always puzzles me. Particularly when I go to I might drop in on a local friend's site or feed and make an observation about it. They might have some political observation, and I'll make a observation from my viewpoint, and it will immediately attract all kinds of people come out of the woodwork and really get angry and really get very you almost feel like you're getting lynched. And I wonder, why is that? What's going on? Because it's not just about policies. It's something bigger. So that's why I keep digging into this. And I've come to the conclusion, from my viewpoint of age, since I've been watching the political change since 1960, and the rise of movement conservatism, and the change of the South from being solid Democratic to being solid Republican. What's going on, you see? And it's really a clash of mythologies. Now I'm comparing the Catholic Church and the Republican Party, and I observe that the Republican Party is a church/state, or state/church. It is the party of values and meaning. Now that's the domain of religion. Science gives you facts and information, tells you how to do something. But religion, ever since the Middle Ages, when Descartes divided Western civilization, the domains of science gets the objective world, religion gets the subjective world. That's the way it was set up. And the subjective world is meaning and value. The objective world is facts and information, and it's empirically verified through the scientific method. And we all assume that to be the real world, the objective world, because we know it's given us streetcars and air conditioning and your computer. You're going to fix that. You don't burn incense and pray to your house deity in order to fix your computer. You get out a manual. So we just live in this objective, scientific, rational world, and yet superimposed over that, like a tent with a pole, is this subjective world of values. But this tent, you see, it's like a big circus tent with a tent pole, and the tent coming down with the pole in the middle, you know. That's the hierarchy of the Catholic Church. You got God, you got the Pope, you got the bishops, the archbishops, the bishops, the priests, and the laity. It's there. And the tent pole is the Pope as the emissary of Christ, who is the emissary of God. So boom, boom, boom. It's kind of like that tent pole is the lightning rod that gets the grace of God. And it flows down, you see, through the Pope, through the priests, through the archbishops, through the bishops, through the priests, and into the deacons of the church or so forth, down into the laity. Now the same thing has happened with the Republican Party, in that as a tent or tent of values and meaning, they invest in the Republican president, the president as a Republican. So this tent of the Republican church state, you see, is held up by the president just like the Pope holds up the Catholic Church. So the tent and the office of the presidency has to be protected in the Republican Party in the same way that the church has to be protected in the Catholic, the church, because in the Catholic Church, which is different from Protestantism, most people don't realize this, but the Catholic Church, historically, as a church, is the vehicle for the sacraments that deliver grace to you, that prevents you from going to hell and allows you to go to heaven. So this is an existential matter here. If you don't receive grace from the sacraments, the Mass particularly, and the sacraments of the church, you're going to hell, period, and roast in eternal damnation. And that used to be a very serious matter in the Middle Ages, but now it's kind of like, yeah, all right, yeah. Because we live in an objective, rational, scientific world, and you can't find, no matter how deep you dig or how high you go, you can't find heaven and hell. So the tent pole, the mythological tent doesn't hold up, but it's still there. So the structure is that therefore in the Catholic Church, what's more important is protecting the church than the laity with a corrupt priest, you see, because the grace does not flow through the character of the priest in the Catholic Church. That's why Catholic priests always can drink and tell dirty jokes and smoke. They can't have sex, but they can be, a good guy, have a beer with the priest, and because he is an instrument of the church. Now, in the Protestant religion, that all got smashed. And the big one church got broken up into many little tents. Each one is a tent that you must protect, but the minister is the lightning rod for the Spirit, you see. Aretha Franklin, I hope, anyway, I'm digressing, I won't get into that. But you go to a black church, or an evangelical church, and there's electricity there because the energy is coming down through the minister. It's not coming down through the sacraments. See the difference? So the character of the minister in the Protestant church is important to be pure vehicle for grace, you see. That's why ministers are so fearful of being caught in the public bathroom. Because if they sin, you see, then grace is not going to flow through them. But in the church, you see, Catholic Church, the church is the sacred vehicle for grace. And unfortunately, that allows, and I'm not excusing pedophilia for God's sakes, I'm just saying that from the point of view of the church, and this has been their failing, protect the church first and the kids later, you see. Now let's go to Trump and the church state, you see. So here you have the same thing. The presidential office is the vehicle for grace. So that has to be protected, even if the particular character occupying the office is corrupt. So you would go to protect the president, the office, first, because that's what holds the tent pole up. If you take that tent pole down, if you impeach the president, if you kick out the Pope, the whole tent collapses. And that's total chaos. The center can't hold. Anarchy will rule. The chaos is there. And the liberals will come in and take over. The hordes of liberals will come in. Those Democrats will come in and take over. And they'll just be like Andrew Jackson with the people in the house, just the people will run everything. No, you got to have law and order. The powerful president, you see, which is a masculine figure both in the Catholic Church and the Republican Party. So the pyramid, you see, is God, Jesus, male, president or pope, and then all the lower levels down to the people, you see. So it's like this, you see. But in liberalism, it's like this. The pyramid is upside down so that the people are first. The people, the power is in the people, and the people divide into tribes, like black people, gay people, women, all these different Me Too's. You see, where are all these rights coming from? All these people want rights. So they're tribes in the Democratic Party. But the Republican Party has always marched as one tribe. Newt Gingrich did that. He unified the Republican movement, conservatism, like the redcoats in the British Army. They all walked to the same talking points, in unison, you see. But all that's cracking up now. It's all cracking up because Trump is a monkey wrench. Trump is like the pedophile priest in the Catholic Church. Who are you going to support? The presidency? Or kick this pedophile out there? You see? So even metaphorically, he's abusing children at the border. You see? So anyway, I just, thanks for dropping in. I just tried to draw a little different picture on why we get so confused and we're so terribly anxious and just befuddled and confused and arguing and angry, because we don't see things mythologically. And that helps. It doesn't solve anything. It just helps. Helps me. Thanks for dropping in.